Hello, happiness seekers. Welcome. My name is Klaudia, and you are listening to the Happiness Challenge, a podcast where I test drive the best happiness hacks that science has on offer. And it's March, which is my favorite month. First of all, it marks the start of spring. Finally. Secondly, both my husband and I, we celebrate our birthdays. So, party time. But also, March 20th is the official International Day of Happiness. It's an annual celebration established by the United Nations to recognize the importance of happiness in our lives and in the society. And this March 2026 is even extra special for me because I will be traveling to Costa Rica for the Gross Global Happiness Summit at the University of Peace that is established by the UN. And I still don't believe this, but I am one of the speakers talking about the science of happiness at work and my book, The Alphabet of Happiness. I simply cannot wait to be there and also to bring you back some fresh insights from this amazing conference. But in the meantime, in order to celebrate the International Day of Happiness, I thought it would be a great idea to dive deeper into the previous World Happiness Reports, which are generally published around the International Day of Happiness. What are these reports? What data do they reveal about happiness? And most importantly, what can we learn from them? Now, unfortunately, as much as those reports are incredible, let's be honest, who has time and motivation to read over 260 pages? I know. Now, you'll be pleased to know that I do. I absolutely love reading those reports because they just packed with incredible insights. But to save you time, I'm going to summarize these reports for you. So in this episode, I'm going specifically dive into the World Happiness Report from 2024 that explores the relationship between age and happiness. So let's dive into it. So just very quickly as introduction, the World Happiness Report is absolutely the leading publication on global well-being. It blends insights from 140 different countries. It's topped up with expert analysis from top researchers across various fields. So if you ever in need of good, solid, reliable data, that is the publication to get it from. It's published annually by the University of Oxford's Wellbeing Research Centre in partnership with Gallup and the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network. Overall, the mission is to empower people worldwide with the knowledge needed to foster greater happiness for themselves and others. And as already mentioned, 2024 World Happiness Report was really, really interesting because it specifically explored the relationship between age and happiness, busting some common myths and revealing some surprising findings. So now you might have heard the U-shape theory that happiness is quite high when we are young, then it dips in midlife and then rises again as we get older. But is that really the whole story? And this is where the report really surprises us, because according to the report, it absolutely depends. In some countries, happiness does follow a U shape, where people tend to report higher happiness in their youth, below 30, and then higher happiness in older age, above 60, with a noticeable dip in midlife between 30 to 60. But even there are some interesting differences. For example, Norway, Sweden, Germany, France, and the United Kingdom are countries where they follow the U shape, but the older generation are significantly happier than the younger generation. In other places, the opposite is true. For example, Portugal and Greece show the reverse pattern. People are actually significantly happier in the youth than in older age. But then, actually, when we look overall across Western Europe, happiness actually doesn't follow that U shaped pattern. Happiness levels are relatively flat across the lifespan, showing little change as people age, which is also interesting. And finally, some countries do not follow U shaped pattern at all. Countries of Central and Eastern Europe show much higher life evaluations for young people, with steady decline across age groups thereafter. So happiness actually declines steadily with age rather than bounces back later in life. So what is very clear here, there is no universal curve. Our happiness journeys are absolutely shaped by culture, society, and individual circumstances. So, of course, looking at this data, I want to straight away know, hey, what actually influences these ups and downs? So, there are few things that the report highlights. First of all, social connections. Our relationships absolutely matter at every age, but especially as we get older, we need to pay more attention to that social support. Having friends, family, or a supportive community is strongly linked to higher happiness at later stage in life. The second one, again, probably not very surprising, physical and mental health play a huge role in happiness at the later stages of life. So, investing in healthy habits early on can really pay off later in life. It's really important to think, no matter what age you are now, what kind of things you want to be doing physically in your last decade of your life. Climbing a mountain, traveling across the globe, being physically active to go shopping on your own, whatever it is. And how can you work backwards from that so that you now exercising, taking care of your well-being, thinking about your physical health right now so that you be able to make that happen. And the third factor is purpose. Feeling useful and having goals, whether through work, volunteering, and hobbies, boosts happiness at any stage of life. But we need to be here extra cautious because with age, our curiosity and appetite for learning new things decreases. So let's not forget that and think about our purpose in life. And also, purpose is an antidote to that maybe feeling of being stuck or not moving forward during that midlife dip when it comes to our happiness. So for me, the key inspiring takeaway here is while we cannot control aging, we can influence how happy we feel as we age. So again, research really suggests in that report that people who stay socially active, look after their health, and nurture that sense of purpose are more likely to report higher well-being, no matter their age. So those are the three components to really look after. So I really love this because it reminds us that happiness isn't just about youth or specific milestones. It's about the choices we make every day, like reaching out to a friend, taking a walk, or learning something new. Age isn't a barrier at all. It's very much a journey, and we do have a power to shape it. So, whether you're 25 or 75, ask yourself what one small step you can take today to boost your happiness. Maybe it is reconnecting with someone, maybe it's trying a new activity, maybe simply savoring some ordinary moments. Because happiness is actually a lifelong adventure. And I'm trying to remind myself that since I'm celebrating my birthday this month and I am 1 year older after all. So thank you so much for listening to the Happiness Challenge. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends, spread a little more happiness. Check out my book, The Alphabet of Happiness, and also subscribe to my weekly newsletter on Substack. You can find all of the information on my website, thehappinesschallenge.co.uk. Until next time, as always, I dare you to be happy. Bye.